to We Watch Movies.
I'm Ava.
And I'm Jenna.
And we watch movies. So this week we watched Moxie, which actually came out today. I know, we're so punctual on this one. Wow. Came out today on Netflix. It's directed and she's also in the cast, but it's directed by Amy Poehler. And it's about feminism in high school. So let's talk about it. Jenna, what were your initial thoughts?
I enjoyed this movie. I mean, I didn't think it was anything super amazing, but I enjoyed it. I didn't dislike it.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't anything to really super intensely dislike. It was just really on the nose with everything, you know?
Yeah.
Like, there wasn't very much nuance in the whole thing, because it was basically, this girl, her mom used to be a super protesting, I don't know how to describe it, feminist with her friends in high school, and so, but this girl is a goody girl, but then she realizes that feminism is an actual problem that needs, feminism isn't the problem, but gender equality is a cause that she should be fighting for, and so she becomes this super kick butt feminist called Moxie in her school, and everybody, like all of the adults and all of the guys except for a couple guys at her school, are complete sexists, like all of them, until like the end when her English teacher is like, okay, but like it just, and then she gets she I don't want to say she kind of becomes a stereotype of what feminists are often considered, but like, I don't know, like maybe that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know. Do you get it? Do you understand my words?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say, because throughout the course of the movie, she turns like more and more into this, what's the word I'm looking for? This kind of like character she has of Moxie. That's not the word I really wanted, but that's the one I'm using, I guess. But she kind of turns more and more into this person who is like very like deeply into this cause, to the point where like she gets so invested in it, she also kind of forgets some of the other things in her life, and she kind of has to find a balance between the two of them. Like, I don't know if that makes any sense either, but and I don't really know how I want to say this, because I feel like if I say it the wrong way, it won't sound right, and that's not what I mean. But
yeah, I don't know. I think I guess the main problem I had with the character was like at that dinner that she went to with her mom's boyfriend and her boyfriend. I know she was like upset. I get that she was upset, but like, she did that thing that a lot of people use as like a reason to dislike feminists, when like a feminist might take something out of context or something, or blow something out of proportion. Like, I don't know, it was her mom's boyfriend, who's played by Agent Phil Coulson, by the way.
That's
don't think
why
I didn't
he looked
notice.
familiar.
But he's talking to Seth about physics, because Seth brought up physics, and they started talking about physics, and she's like, "Are you not talking to me about physics because I'm a woman?" And like, I know that she was upset, and that kind of made her a little irrational. But like, well, or at least I hope that's what the script is trying to do. But it just, she started to turn into kind of what, like, the stereotype that people use when they are going against feminism, which is kind of like, you know?
Yeah, I get that. Because even at the end, she does like her like big final like climactic thing that ties into the walkout they do. I mean, spoilers, I guess. I don't know. That was kind of vague. But they also never really show the resolution of that. And what she did was justified. I'm not saying I like condone like anything illegal, but like in terms of like a fictional story, like it was justified, but we also never see anything that really happens to the character after that. And that was kind of just like, I don't know, like the pacing and like how they kind of framed some of the things in this movie didn't work for me, even if I could kind of understand them.
The ending was very I'm Radio Rebel vibes.
I don't know what Radio Rebel is from.
What?
It's like it's a Disney Channel thing, right?
Jenna!
Sorry! I've heard of it, I don't know where it's from.
Jenna!
I'm sorry.
You don't know what Radio Rebel is?
It sounds familiar. So maybe I do, but like, what is it?
Okay, it's a Disney Channel movie, and Debbie Ryan is this high school girl, but she also has this radio station where she's, like, rebellious, I guess, and the school is like, ew, I hate that radio station. And the school is like, we're not gonna have a prom unless this person who's running this radio station, Radio Rebel, comes forward and tells us who she is. And then she doesn't, and they take away prom, and then she's like, what if we have our own prom, but it's backwards, so it's more, but then they can't take it away because it's not prom. Then they have that, and then like at the end she's like, I'm Radio Rebel, and then another person's like, no, I'm Radio Rebel, and they're like, no, I'm Radio Rebel, and then the principal doesn't know who to expel for having a radio show.
Yeah, okay, this is a lot like Radio Rebel then.
Yeah. Debbie Ryan.
Yeah, I knew Debbie Ryan was in it somehow. Don't tell me how I know that, because I won't be able to tell you, but...
Yeah, I mean... I think it was... this movie was very... It was very good at making you dislike the men.
Yeah.
And it was satisfying to see Mitchell get his, comeuppance, I guess. But, like, they didn't even show that much of it. It's just like, oh yeah, he's getting in trouble. But honestly, in the real world, she probably would have gotten in trouble for graffiti, but, like, we just don't talk about that.
Yeah, I feel like she would have gotten in trouble for a lot of the things she did. And, like, all of those stickers, getting them off of, like, I don't know, I kind of cringed because I was like, getting those stickers off of those lockers is going to be a nightmare. So I'm sorry. Don't do that.
I actually felt for Claudia.
Yeah.
Because, see, that's another thing, like, there's no one way to, like, be a feminist, you know? And she was doing it in her own way, but she is, like, you could tell, with the nomination stuff, etc., like, she's not an outspoken person. And it's not that she doesn't support the cause, but she's, like, terrified to support the cause, like, support the cause publicly, I guess. And, you know, she did her part privately, and she got Moxie, like, registered with the school and everything, which I don't know how she pulled that off, because, like, I feel like they wouldn't, like, condone that, but still, she was able to do that. And, I feel like they really underplayed her contributions to the cause, and then she, like, got suspended for it, and her mom, like, being a strict mom, like, she wouldn't let her participate in the shirt thing. She got really mad when she got suspended and everything, but, like, back to the, like, tank top thing, she goes to school, and then Vivian's like, oh, you're not wearing a tank top. Like, yeah, it's not our fault! Which was very annoying. I don't know, I feel like Claudia was very underappreciated. They just kind of saw her as a lesser person, like a lesser member of the Moxie Club, which made me really mad.
Yes, because, like, even, like, yes, it's important for people to, like, give, like, vocal support and, like, actually do things more than just saying, like, yeah, I support this cause, but then, like, they don't do anything. That's not really helpful. But she was doing a lot behind the scenes, and, like, just her overall character, she's not the most outspoken. And she wasn't really, like, helped into that whole group. Really, the only person she knew was Vivian. and Vivian was kind of just like ride or die Claudia, and Claudia just isn't necessarily that type of person to be like all in for something like that, like in the same way that all of the other girls were. And I mean, that's fine, everyone does things differently. It was just annoying to constantly like see her overlooked and treated like she was less, even though she was still contributing. And even then, she was going to like wear the tank top, but then her mother stopped her, and it was just frustrating because like no one ever like asked her how she felt about anything. They just made assumptions, which I feel like if you're trying to like create like a sort of movement that relies on like the stories and experiences of other people, you need to listen to them and understand where they're coming from.
Even Vivian, like, she was like, I'm worried about Claudia's mom not letting her participate. And then she didn't let her participate, and Vivian was like, oh, you didn't participate. I was like, what? Like, you knew that this was gonna happen, and you're just like, you're still looking down on her for it. That was really annoying. Like, when there's social justice issues, especially when it comes to, like, a place of business or something. I know that's not like their job to be a student, but it kind of is. When something like that happens, you do what you can and what you're comfortable with, and it doesn't mean that you are like an anti-feminist if you can't participate in a protest, because depending on like, I don't know, depending on like the kind of like the nature of the protest or whatever it is, it could get you into serious trouble or whatever, which I mean some people are fine with, but some people can't risk it, like she said. So I don't know, I'm pro Claudia.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's kind of a little sad that, like, the movie kind of, like, made it so that you almost had to pick a side, like, who do you support, because it's like, no. They're both feminists. Therefore, like, I don't know, it was just a little frustrating with how they chose to carry all of that out, and I just want to say, if our school did, like, a tank top thing like they did in the movie, I don't think I own a tank top, or at least one that would actually break the dress code. So I'd be a little disappointing to the local feminists, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, protests are hard when it comes to like I said, just like a place of business, and I felt for Claudia a lot. Yeah. You know, with Lucy, she just kind of didn't care about anything other than her cause. Like that was her like one character trait, was feminist, which was annoying too. Because I mean, like I mean, her character was feminist. I feel like they probably came up with, oh, she's gonna be this feminist girl before they even like came up with a name, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, but I think she wasn't wrong in anything that she did. She was definitely like the victim in all of her scenarios, but still, I feel like they could have added a little bit more to her and like given her more, I don't want to say complexity, but like I kind of do want to say complexity. I feel like a lot of the characters were very just one-dimensional, just, oh, feminist girls, and then Vivian and Claudia.
Yeah, I would have
It's kind of weird.
to see. I don't want to necessarily say like less of Vivian, but at the same time, it would have been, I think, really great to see some more of all of the other girls and their experiences as well. Because yes, Vivian is our main character, but I feel like you have so many characters in this movie that you could also talk about and give the audience a little more depth, but you don't. And I don't know, I would have just liked to see other people's experiences.
Yeah, I like how they made a movie about social justice, and they decided to focus on like the one main character whose only minority is that she's a woman, and that's not even minority. It's just not being a man. Like, I don't know. I feel like you could have had a really compelling story with Lucy, but if she had more stuff going on. Lucy very much reminded me of Stella from Lemonade Mouth. Have you seen Lemonade Mouth?
It sounds familiar.
I'm not gonna say it. No, I'm not going there again.
It does sound familiar though. Wait a minute, I'm gonna look it up.
It's so good, Jenna. You have to.
Haley Kyoko's in that movie. Wait, what? It looks familiar though, and I don't know why, because I am 9 out of 10 certain I did not see this movie.
Well, Lemonade Mouth is very popular, and a lot of people have seen it, so maybe you just have seen it from people who are more, what is it? Cultured.
Than me. Yeah, okay. You got me there, Ava.
No, yeah, Stella, her character is basically like, she's the new kid at school, and she doesn't like how she's being told not to wear her shirt that says question authority on it. She's wearing a t-shirt that says question authority. She shows up with her like 2000s feather earring and her red t-shirt, and then there's a pep rally, but she got yelled at earlier for wearing a shirt that's a graphic tee or whatever, and she stands up at the pep rally and goes, "My shirt, my decision." And yeah, so that's Stella. That's the kind of character that she is. It very much reminded me of Lucy.
Again, I can see that.
I like how the first person listed in the cast is the girl who plays Emma. And I understand why, because she's probably a bigger star than the rest of them. But like her character is kind of small. So I don't know if you would pick up on this. But Josephine Langford, the girl who played Emma, she was the main girl in After movies. Yeah.
That's why she looked familiar.
Yeah, so, I don't care if you've seen that movie, I'm gonna tell you not to watch it.
Oh, don't worry, it's not gonna happen.
You know, Mitchell Wilson looked so familiar the whole time, but he literally isn't to me, because I looked him up and he wasn't in anything I'd seen, but he looked so familiar.
Maybe that's a metaphor for something. Maybe they're trying to convey something to us.
I don't know, the actor is Patrick Schwarzenegger, and I've never seen him in anything, but he looked like he was in a lot of things, but he wasn't. I mean, he was in some things, but just not a lot of things that I've seen, which was okay. Who else is in this cast? Oh, Seth, the character that was Seth, played by Nico Hiraga. Okay, so the whole, you know when he, like, came to school with the stars on his hand, and Lucy was like, "That's hot"? Like, yeah, that kind of was.
Oh my god, I laughed so hard at that.
I mean, it kind of is.
I mean, oh yeah, no, I'm not saying that because it wasn't. I just, the way it was phrased was, like, very, like, accurate.
Like, think about the guys at our school if something like that was happening. How many of them do you think would come to school with stars and hearts on their hand?
It'd be tempting to, like, try that experiment. I mean, there'd definitely be a couple. Maybe more than I'm thinking of, because I don't know everyone at our school. But there would be a lot that would not do it.
Yeah, there would be... But But see, all the ones that wouldn't do it are like not my friends because I know how to pick them. I have good taste in people sometimes. Oh, there was this one scene in this movie that I thought was such a missed opportunity. Okay, so you know the scene where Mitchell, like, spits in Lucy's drink?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know it would be gross, but hear me out. If Lucy looked him dead in the eye and started drinking it, he would pee himself a little bit. His butt cheeks would clench in fear and awe. He would be like shooketh thoroughly by this woman and how she has bigger balls than him.
The face I'm giving, like, the one fake plant I have in my room is an incredulous one. But at the same time, I was kind of hoping that they did something with that. Or, like, she at least, like, knocks the drink, like, up and out at him. But no.
I don't know. I know that she would be too proud to do something like that, but that would be a epic moment of awesomeness. Yeah, I know that Lucy's a very proud person. She would be like, I'm not taking that, and she wouldn't drink it. But that's kind of the reaction he was hoping to get out of her. Ow. And then I just poked myself in the thing. Anyways, yeah, so I don't know. I think that would have been an epic moment, and I would have had, I mean, it would have been gross, but I don't know. It would have been like, it would have been cool. That's one way to assert your dominance over your harasser. I don't know why I just said that.
To be fair, though, I don't think I would want that guy's spit anywhere near me.
Correct, but she's fictional, so I can say what I want.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah, no, I think I was just picturing the fear it would strike in his eyes. Like, she would have won that interaction if she did that. Take the power away from him, you know?
I don't think I have an appropriate response to that, honestly. I don't think there's anything I can say.
I don't know. I think I am just amazing.
Someone hire her. Do it. Take her
Okay.
away from me. She deserves bigger and better things.
We just lost Jenna for a second.
I just lost you, so I don't know what you're going on about.
Well, I wasn't talking and you were talking, and then you went like, and then you died. So.
Well, that's highly unfortunate.
Okay, can we talk about how Enlob they made Seth? Like, why do you want to be super Enlob? Like, oh, I'm gonna take this girl on a date to the funeral home.
Yeah.
We're gonna lie in a coffin and talk about death. And I'm gonna skateboard all of my life. I'm gonna tell her mom that my plans for, that my plans for the future are to skateboard. And I'm gonna talk about how I suck at physics. But I'm also gonna do all these cute and kind of romantic and feministy things. But our first date, 100%, will be by breaking into a funeral home and talking about coffins and death. Like, to each their own, Seth, but like, a bit much.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. As Enloggy the funeral home date was, it was kind of cute. Like, it could have been a lot more cringy than it was. And I mean, all things considered, it was nice. I didn't mind it.
Yeah, I just need to correct you really quick. He is not N-Log. He is N-Lob. Not like other boys.
Okay.
You need to get your grammar straight.
Well, I
Miss
wasn't
Jenna.
sure if we were just. Listen, I didn't know what nlog was until like last week when you told me. I don't know what the rules are. Like, do we just like apply that to like general situations? Like, I don't know. So I'm glad you corrected me. Nlob, okay. Duly noted.
For instance, we are not like other podcasts. We would be considered NLOP. I don't know how we're different from other podcasts except for the fact that we like suck, but
That's why you should
we
listen
don't
to
suck.
us.
Yeah, we don't suck, actually. I am just self-deprecating. So you should definitely listen to us. So if you're listening on YouTube, subscribe. If you're listening on another platform, which you probably aren't, check us out on YouTube. If you're listening on YouTube, you could go look at other platforms in the description box. Yeah, okay. We're gonna continue now.
Do we have any followers on Spotify?
I follow us on Spotify.
I follow us on Spotify.
So we have 2 followers on Spotify.
Be the third. You know you want to.
Okay. What did you think of the music, since it was kind of a story element?
Oh, there's a word for that I can't remember. There's a word for when the music you hear in the movie is also music that the characters hear. This is gonna bother me. Now that I can't remember it. But I mean, I liked it. It had that whole, like, rebellious, like, girl power vibe to it. But it worked for the movie. It definitely set the right tone. Like, I mean, I never really know how to talk about, like, non-original soundtrack choices, just because it's like, it's okay. It's music. Because it was made for something else, so it's... I guess most of the challenge is, does it fit for the movie? And it did. I didn't mind it. It blended really well, like a normal soundtrack would. It fit the movie. It was cool. They all of the characters, when they were listening to it, seemed really into it. They were having solo dance parties over there.
Wasn't there a one of the early 20th century progressive performers, didn't one of them do something called like Rebel Girl, or was Rebel Girl or something? Like, didn't one of them have a nickname, or like write a book or something that was Rebel Girl?
I have no
I don't know
idea.
which one. Oh. Well, that's cool.
It's diegetic.
Yeah, I gotta
music.
say,
that's what it's called.
What?
Okay.
What is it called?
Diegetic movie. Not diegetic music. Pretty sure.
I gotta say, I mean, I know that the characters like the music, but I didn't like the music, and I'm the only person that matters here.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably not anything that, like, I would listen to on my own, even though I definitely did have a minor emo phase in middle school. Listen, it hit all of us. Don't come at me. But even then, like, I don't know, it just wasn't my thing. I personally did not vibe with it. It vibed with the movie. But personal preference-wise, not my favorite.
Yeah, I mean, like, I know it was supposed to be like punk or whatever, and I've listened to some punk music, and I've enjoyed some punk music. Or maybe it's grunge. I honestly don't know genre names, but I've listened to songs similar to that, and I've liked them. Just, not these ones. I did not enjoy these ones. I guess I like more structure in my songs. I don't know, I feel like they were very, talky, I guess. And I don't know.
I didn't like the
it's not my
songs.
cup of tea.
They were like name a bunch of different letters, and then they would carry on with the rest of
Oh,
the verse.
ew, I
was
hated
like,
that one.
what are you trying to spell here? You're just saying
Yeah.
letters.
Alphabet Soup, the song.
Honestly, yeah,
I don't know what that was. That's like when you're eating alphabet soup and you're trying to make words, but some of the letters keep floating away, and you're trying to make words. And you're like, look, it spells velocity. And you're like, no, honey, that's just VLCTY. And you're like, I tried.
And that's why no one eats alphabet soup anymore.
Alphabet soup isn't even like the best kind of soup.
I've definitely... Have I had alphabet soup? I'm about to have an existential crisis over this, Ava.
Jenna, have you not had alphabet soup?
I probably have,
Am I
but I don't remember.
non-movie related homework right now? I'm gonna give you non-movie related homework right now, and you are going to eat alphabet soup.
I guess I should eat it in front of a camera. That'd be real content, right?
Can you should make a video where you're just completing all your homework.
Oh my god, that would take forever!
Yeah, because first you need to go back through all of the podcasts and see every time I just go, Jenna!
I mean,
yeah,
hey,
I think
if I did it on Spotify, it would increase our listens.
Yes, it would. It definitely would. I wish you could control F in recordings and just be like, just look for Ava yells, Jenna! And then,
I mean, if I was doing that, I could try to make podcast transcripts.
You could. That would take a billion years, and it would probably make you very sad about.
Oh, I would go insane. But I mean, the things
unintelligible we are. Yeah, I feel like sometimes just our podcasts just don't make sense, and they only make sense to us. But it's fine because they only need to make sense to us, you know.
I mean, listen, you're the one who decided you wanted to listen to two girls talk about movies. I don't know what you signed up for, but this is what you're getting. And sometimes it's just nice to turn on a podcast and hear someone else's voice that isn't yours going through your head. And you know, I think we're probably funny sometimes. Maybe.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So have you seen Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
It's been on my list. I'm not sure if I want to watch it. So I haven't watched it yet.
Jenna! Okay, well, Phil is the star.
I knew that.
And I love Phil. I named the sourdough starter after Phil. I killed the sourdough starter. But
Phil Collins.
I had two. I had Phil Coulson. Well, Agent Phil Coulson, the sourdough starter, one, and then Phil 2.0. They both died.
Not the sourdough.
Well, he wasn't very good at actually rising the bread, you know. He was good at making bubbles, but then I would put him in the bread and it wouldn't rise, and I would be like, okay, fine, be that way, Phil. But
Didn't
yeah,
Phil
so
Coulson,
that
like,
was
die a couple times
throughout the show and the movie, and yeah, he
Maybe
is no stranger to death. But I think he felt, so I think he had a fling with, it was some sort of string instrumentalist. I feel like it was a cellist. Anyways, here's a film theory for you guys. Pat, take notes. Amy Poehler is the cellist. I know everybody's like, oh my god, she's a nurse. But what if it's a hobby? Okay, she takes shifts at the hospital, and in her spare time is a cellist. And that wasn't John. He was Phil undercover with his cellist. And, but, like, probably after the events of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like, the last season. and he's like done being director of S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever. I don't remember how it ended. I think he survived the... Yes, he did. He did, but I'm pretty sure he's a robot now, but still. I don't know. There's a lot of crazy antics that go on in the last season. I couldn't tell you the state of Phil Coulson if I tried, but film theory, he ends up with his nurse cellist because she needed to pay more bills, so she became a nurse as well, and they reconnected while at the supermarket, and he was buying leeks.
The leeks were code.
The leeks were code for "I love your cello." The leeks were code. Can we just put that on a mug? I want a mug that says "The leeks were code."
Oh my gosh. If we make merch, we have to set up a poll and figure out what random quotes from the podcast people would want to buy things on.
The leeks are code. Prostitute on a bike. I don't know what the other good ones are. There definitely are some.
I really do need to re-listen to some of the podcasts. I say that,
We
but I
need
will
to make a
regret it.
highlights reel. Do you guys want a highlights reel? Let us know if you want a highlights reel. Of all the stuff that's not related to the... Of, like, all the good stuff. The entertaining stuff that's not related to the movies we're supposed to be talking about. Yeah. There's some pretty great stuff going on there. Ow. I dropped my scissors.
You keep getting hurt during this episode.
Because I've been playing with scissors.
Actually, you know what? I think I've done that before on a Zoom call. Never mind.
They're really entertaining. They're good, like, fidget toy. It's like those little scissors, those nail scissors, and I've been playing with them this whole time, and I keep dropping them. They keep poking me because they're sharp.
Okay, well, I don't think that's advisable, Ava.
I condone playing with scissors.
Okay, well, you know what? I don't. So, we even out. Do whatever you want with your scissors. When did this become an ASMR video?
Oh my god, say wait, I have more scissors.
Oh my god. Scissor chorus. Scissor band?
Yeah.
Scissor ensemble.
God, wait.
There we go.
What if we just had an ensemble of people who just, like... but, like, rhythmically. Like, if you were doing, like, Mars or something, it'd be like... Gustav Holst is quaking.
He never could have predicted this. And then, like, the
Holst's
percussionist...
Mars as played by scissors.
And then all the percussionists would just hit things with scissors, or they would hit scissors with other things.
Or they would hit paper with scissors. And hit scissors with rocks.
Oh my god.
We just came up with something beautiful.
The musical institution is quaking right now.
Oh my god. I just watched Whiplash with my family.
Oh.
Have you seen Whiplash?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but it's been on my list for a really long time.
Well, I just watched it, and it's about a drummer. And it's basically like, if you've seen, have you seen Black Swan?
Again, on my list. Know about it.
Anyways, it's like Black Swan, but for percussionists. And, yeah, so he should, instead of playing drums, start a scissors band.
I mean, there are all different types of scissors. Like, I mean, there are probably even, like, those big, like, industrial scissors, like...
Oh my god, the scissors that mayors use!
Oh man, like, and I wonder if they all emit, like, different, like, frequencies, like... Some of those have to have different pitches.
Can somebody please do this?
What if we just proposed this to
become about scissors.
We watched Scissors.
Back to regularly scheduled scissors. Programs, regularly scheduled programs. Ow, I stabbed myself again.
Stop, no, Ava.
Yeah,
the
spinning
madness.
scissors on your finger is probably not the best idea. But yeah, so Moxie, is Radio Rebel, but probably less entertaining. I saw a lot of, I didn't realize why it had gotten like really low ratings at first, and then it was kind of like, okay, I wouldn't have given it quite as low. But then I realized that all the reviews are talking about how they're upset because Amy Poehler directed and like was cast in it, and it wasn't funny.
But like
her whole thing is she's funny, she's from SNL, she's a comedian, blah 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 blah. And then they were like, this isn't funny though. Where are the jokes?
there were jokes though. I genuinely cracked up at some of the things that were going on. Like at one point Vivian came home and the Amy Poehler character was like talking to her, and Vivian was like, no, listen, Mom, like, I'm already pregnant. You don't know the things I'm capable of. Like, I, like, genuinely laughed at that because, I don't know, I found that funny. So, there
I
were
don't
jokes.
remember when she said that. But, like, everybody was, like, that was the main thing a lot of people had a problem with, was that it wasn't that funny. Which I didn't really find myself laughing much, I guess. So, I guess it wasn't that funny.
I don't think it was.
But also, everybody has their own
supposed to be
humor.
dominantly
So,
funny,
like,
though.
what?
I don't think it was supposed to be like dominantly funny.
Yeah, and just people were just kind of disappointed because they were like, Amy Poehler, and then they were like, Amy Poehler. It kind of reminds me of how you know, I Care a Lot is labeled as a satire, and it's supposed to be a dark comedy.
Yeah.
But it's like not. If you want to see a good dark comedy, watch Ready or Not. I think that's already on your list of homework.
It is. It's on my horror video.
Yeah, so good. I loved it. It was in that roster of movies that I saw in like 2019 that made me cry that shouldn't have made me cry because I was just emotionally unstable at the time. It was that and like It Chapter 2.
I see.
I just sometimes I get a little too emotionally attached to random characters for no reason, and then they get killed.
Same. All the time. It's a constant struggle.
Yeah. It's that's the problem when you I don't know, like fictional people more than real people. Hot take, but like fictional people are like they're so cool. It's almost like somebody made them to be cooler than normal people.
My goodness,
Like,
I think you're onto something.
It's almost like somebody is telling them what to say, that it's like so well crafted, you know? It's like Seth, how he's like the right amount of quirkiness, but like still a guy, like still a guy, but then he's like super feminist and everything, and like it's almost like they made the perfect like balance. Like it's all like, imagine like just somebody being like that. Like there were probably like focus groups and things, like people that had to like it's like people were telling somebody like, oh, that sounds kind of stupid, change it. But like obviously that's not the case because it was Seth. It wasn't some writer that made him, it was Seth.
What if Netflix is secretly trying to create the best like young adult male love interest in all of their movies that fit that bill have actually just been a type of test, and they were trying to find.
Then where the
the
heck
best.
did Hardin come from? Excuse you.
He was a failure, a lab mistake.
He's the exception that proves the rule.
Yep. They didn't mean for that to happen. They were going for Harry Styles, but it just didn't work out. Something happened.
They did Harry really dirty. See, I'm not like a super big, like, I'm not like a Harry Styles. Does he have a name for his fans?
I don't know.
Like how there were One Directioners or like Potterheads, because like Harry Potter and then like One Direction. So like, what if it was just like Harry heads? I'm not a Harry head. I think he is a good artist, and I respect him as a human being. And I do not think that Hardin is a good anything, and I don't respect him as anything. So they definitely did him dirty. And yeah, and good thing that they changed the name. Like, they had to change the name for legal reasons. Still don't know where Hardin came from as a name. Like, who the frick is named Hardin?
I guess we'll never know.
I've never heard that name, like, in real life.
Is this why we see so much, like, what's his name? Noah Centineo on Netflix?
He tests the most positively with focus groups.
Noah, we need you.
It's like, Noah, we need a ratings boost. Noah, we need people to actually watch this movie.
Get in here.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they were gonna cast him for this, but then he was like, nah, dude, I can't make it. And they needed to... No, they probably needed somebody less conventional, because he was NLOB.
That would do it.
You know, Noah Centineo is too lob. Yeah, I mean, he's too traditional. We needed somebody super quirky and different.
We needed a skater boy.
But even then, just like their first interaction together is so weird. Like, you don't... Somebody grows over the summer, right? First of all, they're not going to change so much that you can't recognize them. I don't think that's possible. I think you're going to recognize them to a degree. But also, like, you don't go, Seth, you look different. Like, what? How is that the way that you choose to greet this person for the first day of school? Like, what?
Yeah, and that kind of feeds into some of, like, the problems I had with this movie, just because a lot of the acting was delivered a little weirdly sometimes, in my opinion, and some of, like, the pacing and how the movie was written, because I know it was adapted off of a book, so that probably played into it a little bit, just because it seemed like they were trying to be a faithful adaptation, but at the same time, things would move, like, really quickly. Like, the relationship, like, I'm not trying to, like, say anything about people's relationships, but from, like, a fictional perspective, like, they moved, like, really fast, and I couldn't even tell if, like, the movie had just time jumped, or if that was just the timeline of them dating.
Yeah. I would have liked the movie to take some more time to explore the problems that the other girls were facing, too. Because, like, you have, you had a lot from Lucy, but, you know, Josie Toto's character, CJ, that she could have had a really interesting arc that they didn't really explore. Or, like, we could have gotten more from Kiera, or something. I don't know. And even Emma, like, they made her have this really serious thing at the end, but they could have shown more of that. They barely showed her, you know? And stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know. I wasn't finding myself feeling the main character, and I don't know if that was because of pacing and how much she changed so quickly in, like, weird ways. but I just wanted more from the other characters.
I think it would have
Too
been
much
cool
Vivian, you know?
if, like, we opened with Vivian and it kind of jumps around to different people's perspectives, and, like, she's kind of, like, a thread that ties all of them together, like, through Moxie. So, like, she's still, like, there in the background. But it would have been cool, like, we see her, like, start to get into feminism, and then we switch to someone else as, like, they're just finding Moxie. So, like, then we could switch to the girl in her English class, and then we kind of get to learn more about her, and then we maybe switch to Kiara, and then, like, we keep switching. I think that would have been really cool, and, like, then we can end up back with Vivian, and we can kind of see, like, how it started, and then, like, where it ended up. I don't know. That could have been something.
Yeah, like something more ensemble based.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been really cool. I think that would have lent itself well to the story that they were trying to tell. Because, it's like, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, we're telling the story of 1,000 different girls who have gone through problems such as this. Well, if you're telling the story, I mean, they didn't say that, but, like, it's, like, kind of implied. And so if you're telling such a universal story that is just feminism and gender inequality and everything, you should show different perspectives of it, especially when you have such a big group of characters and and it's such a diverse group too. Like, you have the ability to show all the different, like, ways that people face it, like how, because they have, like, the popular pretty girl, and they have, like, the quiet introvert, and they have, like, the sporty girl, and they have the transfer student, blah 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 blah. They have all of these different perspectives on this school, and they could have explored them, but they didn't, and it was annoying.
Yeah, it was frustrating, and yeah, I mean, it was good that they at least had those stories in some capacity in the movie. Like, I'll take it, but at the same time, like, if we're gonna talk about feminism, I think it's important to make sure that we're including everybody's experiences with feminism and also just sexism and how they go through that, because it's a very nuanced conversation that doesn't always get the nuance that it deserves, I feel like.
Yeah, it's a nuanced conversation that was told by a very not nuanced movie. And I think that's probably the easiest way to sum it all up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, was it necessarily bad or harmful? No, I wouldn't go that far. But I also don't think it was the most impactful for where we are right now.
Yeah, it's an okay popcorn movie. If you just want to sit down and watch something, it's pretty chill, I guess. 'Cause, I mean, yeah, it talks about some heavy topics, but it doesn't treat them in a super heavy way. So, yeah. Anyways, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. If you guys liked, leave a like. If you guys have thoughts, comment them. If you guys want to see more from us, subscribe, because we post videos every Sunday, and we have an episode of the podcast coming out every Wednesday. Unless we have issues, then it comes out on Thursday, but nevertheless, one every week. And you can listen here, you can listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, blah blah blah, so many places, wow. And you can listen everywhere. And so, we hope you check it out. Do what makes you feel happy inside, and we hope that we make you feel happy inside. Yeah, so Jenna, anything to add?
This movie should also be judged on the fact that it, 1, did not have enough scissors. That is my TED Talk, and also, are we not Radio Rebel 2?
Okay, bye!